I should be dead, but I'm not knowing if I was going to be a quadriplegic for 2 days, laying on my back, eating through my nose for a month, and having to learn to do everything over again. Progress that I've made since I've been here is awe-inspiring. Well, I had almost given up, but I'm so very glad that I didn't. This is my cave. I'm on 2 teams, the small animal team, the kitchen team. Well, don't come if you want a vacation. I will miss the people. My name is Joy. I've been on Tenerife for 2 months now. I arrived here on June 15th this year, 2022, after 2 years of trying. Now here we have to back up a little bit because the 2 years of trying needs a little bit of explanation. See, in fall of 2019, I was graduating from the university with a BA in communication and a minor in Spanish. And even though I had a BA in communication and a minor in Spanish, I felt like I could not communicate with anyone in Spanish. So they say that to become fluent in a language, you need to immerse yourself in the culture. So that was my plan. Started looking around for another location that was in Spain that maybe I had not visited where the weather was a little more temperate. Well, in my searching to find that, I found Tenerife. When I found Tenerife, then I found the Tenerife Horse Rescue. So after finding here, I talked to Emma about coming. We had planned the trip, and then it happened. Nobody could fly anywhere. So my trip back to Europe was postponed. Well, lasted much longer than I anticipated. However, it was about a year after that the restrictions were gradually lifting. I had resumed a conversation with Emma here at the horse rescue. And then on February 27th of 2022, I went through a life-changing event. I was riding my motorcycle and I had an accident. I flipped it. I came off the road, flipped the bike, broke my neck, C2, the second cervical vertebrae in your neck. I broke my face and I had a traumatic brain injury and a stroke, not knowing if I was going to live or die for 2 days, not knowing if I was going to be a quadriplegic for 2 days, laying on my back, eating through my nose for a month, and having to learn to do everything over again. So, anyone that's familiar with a traumatic brain injury, as you sit and watch me talk and you see some more of the things that we're going to show you that I'm doing here, you will realize what an amazing thing it is that I'm still here. So my plans to go to Tenerife after my accident, well, to be quite honest, I didn't even think about it for a long time because I was learning how to do everything over again. I learned a lot faster the second time, I did. But just walking, 8 months before I came, I could only take the steps one at a time. I would have to step up and let the other foot join. And now I can carry buckets full of food to the animals and go up and down steps without any help at all. The progress that I've made since I've been here is awe-inspiring. If anyone would have told me last year that I would be able to come here and to serve, that, oh my goodness, when I was hurt, that was a hard lesson for me to learn, was to accept service from people and to have need, because I had need. I couldn't do anything myself. I couldn't open a water bottle. I couldn't cut a pill in half. I had to thicken my water before I could drink it because my throat was so damaged that they were afraid I would aspirate drinking water. I've always felt like I'm a very strong person, both physically and mentally, and never really needed help. But I have needed help this last year, and I have grown so much, and I have learned something, that people like to help you. You genuinely have a need and you can allow someone to meet that need for you. That makes that person feel good about themselves. It makes them happy. And my mom, she says I'm a nicer person now than I used to be, because sometimes when you have a traumatic brain injury, it changes you. And if I had to change, I'm glad I got a little nicer. And I have been here amongst this community searching for a better version of myself. And I have had such good role models to follow here, such good examples. I have had people share the most amazing advice with me. To come to the finca, well, I had almost given up, but I'm so very glad that I didn't. I should be dead, but I'm not. I should be crippled, but I'm not. And I'm in Tenerife, and I'm very glad to be here. It took me 2 years, but as soon as I was feeling strong enough physically again after my accident, I reopened my communication with Emma, and she said, yes, we would love to have you here. And I said, great, I still want to come there. So I did. On June 15th, like I said, I landed here on Tenerife, and that leads us to what it is that I do now that I'm here. Well, before we go talk about what I do here on the finca, I would like to invite you inside my cave. You are here now in the, well, vestibule, some countries might call it, but this is the comfy place outside that has some shade, place to rest. But come, I want to show you my cave. Oh, and I have to tell you this story. When I was a little girl growing up, my dad built a house for our family, and we moved into that house, and I lived the majority of my life in that house. And the street number that was assigned to that house was 4910. When I came to move into this cave, this sign was already here, and the street number was 4910, just like my home address from when I was a kid. So I was like, wow, welcome home. So come on in. And I also invited Famke to come share my cave with me, because she was sleeping out on a place that we call Tristeza in a tent, and she's very tall and her little head would hang out. So Famke has half of the cave and I have the other half of the cave. And I love my cave, but it's very dark in here. We have some solar lighting that I have hooked up. I like it, but other than that, there's no wind, there's no flies. I'm very comfortable in my cave. So now you know where I sleep, but we're gonna go down to where I work so that I can talk to you a little bit about what I do with the small animals. This has been such a wonderful place for me because it's helped me get my strength back, because everywhere you go here is a walk. So let's start walking. Here we go. This is my cave. And we've got a long walk, and you can see the ocean when you're walking. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what I do on the finca? I work hard. We have different teams. I'm on 2 teams, the small animal team, and the other team is the kitchen team. We'll start with small animals. There are so many. There's guinea pigs and rabbits and pigs, a pot-bellied pig, 2 other sows, Daisy and Maisie. They're lots of fun. There's chickens everywhere, ducks everywhere, baby chicks everywhere, little baby ducks everywhere. There are so many small animals, but they don't include the donkeys and the horses. That's another team. And the cats and the dog, they're a separate team. So although they are small animals, they're not part of what I've been doing. I forgot about the sheep and the goats. Of course, the sheep and the goats, there's a team, because I can't do it all by myself. Oh my goodness, no, there's too many. We prepare the food daily. So typically part of the team will start with the food prep, and the other part of the team will start with cleaning. You have to clean up what they didn't eat from the day before. And the animals are all fed extremely well. So sometimes there's a little extra left over. We scrape all of that into buckets that go on up to the compost and is used again as fertilizer, because we're growing a meadow in the desert. You'll have to watch the video on that one. Peter Hoffman, the gardener here, amazing man. You have to watch the video about growing a meadow in the desert. Once we get everything cleaned up, while the other part of the team is preparing the food, then they put it in buckets and we carry it upstairs, around corners. Oh my gosh, this place is a labyrinth with little hidden treasures all over the place. There are 2 different locations that we feed the ducks. There are 3 different locations that we feed the chickens. There are so many. There are 3 different locations that we feed the guinea pigs. And all of the animals They have, the people here have done their very best to provide a comfortable habitat for them. Now, this island is not a comfortable habitat for a lot of animals because it's very unforgiving, very harsh. There's typically no rainfall to speak of, so there's not a lot of things that grow that you can eat. It's very nice to have this, we'll call it an oasis in the desert for the animals. The guinea pigs, they have little caves that they can go back and hide and shelter in. The rabbits also. The ducks, they have big areas of water so that they can get in and splash around and do their duck thing. Mostly, it has been a lot of hard work. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to come here after the accident, was because the kind of activity that I have been doing is not called for in my daily life. The bending, the squatting, the lifting, the carrying, the everyday part of it. I am so much stronger now than when I came. I remember not being able to walk a mile. And here, oh my goodness, you walk everywhere. I don't have a car. There's no towns really nearby. Well, you can go to the beach, La Jaca. It's only a 15-minute walk. Or you can go to the bus stop and go lots of places, but the bus stop is a 20-minute walk. So I came barely being able to walk a mile, and now I can walk all day long if I have to. It's been an amazing adventure that has made me just a stronger person. All right, so we talked about the small animal team, and I'm also 2 days a week on the kitchen team, which it's really not so very different from the small animal team, except it's not quite as hard of work because the humans clean up a little better after themselves. So we do the food prep. We have to clean up before we start. There's a huge pantry where we keep all of the food, and what we provide for the people to eat depends on what the grocery store provides for the finca as a donation. We have several that come during the day. So we go and look, see what there is to create, and then take those items into the kitchen and create them. Again, it takes a team. There are over 40 of us, sometimes close to 50 people that we're feeding, and we feed them 2 times a day. It's a lot. I have cut and chopped and diced and shredded more things than I have ever diced, chopped, or shredded in my entire life, and I'm a mom with 4 kids. But it's different than feeding 45, 50 people every time you cook. So I've enjoyed my time working with the small animal team. I've enjoyed my time working with the kitchen team. If only I had more time, I would learn the horse team. I would learn the dog and cat team, and eventually take over the whole place and run the finca all by myself. No, I don't even want to do that. But I would like to stay longer. But there's only so long that you can stay on your visa. So I go back home next week. I am tremendously grateful to have had the opportunity that I have had to be here, to learn, to grow, to expand. Like the videos, share them with your friends. Those of you that know me, like it 2 or 3 times, share it with everybody you know. Say, hey, I know this girl. She went to the Canary Islands. It was amazing. You got to check this place out. Watch all of the YouTube videos. Like everything. That's how this place continues to go. It's supported by the internet. The more likes, the more shares that they have, the more that they're able to provide for the animals. So please help me get the word out, especially in America. It's amazing what these people in Europe are doing for the animals that are here. Well, it's been 2 inexpressible months that I have been on the finca. And to tell you what that has meant to me is a very difficult thing, because there are so many areas of my life that is affected and touched. My physical strength, for one, it's just amazing. And not only that, but I mean, I suppose I could have gone to a gym and gradually regained the strength that I have. But having a purpose, and I've been asked, what will you miss? most about the finca. And I think the thing I will miss the most is the community. To be in a group of like-minded people that all have a common goal, that work hard to take care of the animals and in turn taking care of themselves, is a very different environment than I have ever been in. And the people, well, first of all, I'm from the United States, and over here there's nobody from the United States. And not only that, but they're like from every different country, countries that I haven't even heard of. We've got people from Germany, Slovakia, Italy, Belgium, Chile, Argentina. The list goes on and on. You know, every nationality has its own culture. There are multiple cultures inside any nationality. But these people from so many different countries and so many different cultures have agreed that these are the things that are important to us as a culture: honesty, fairness, respect, and everyone treats the other person with those key things in mind. They try very hard to put other people ahead of themselves. They do things for the good of the community. They are holding on to so many things that we are losing in our busy cultures. It's an amazing thing to have to work so hard together to survive, because the survival of this place depends on the work that we do together, and everyone's committed to it. It's an amazing thing. I will miss the animals. I really enjoy having a purpose, something to care for, something that wouldn't survive if I didn't intervene. So I will miss the animals. What I won't miss is myself. I'm glad that I found me here, and I'm going to take the person that I found with me when I go, and everything will be a little different now because I've been here. I tell you, it's been the most amazing adventure, and I knew that I was supposed to come here. The fact that it took me 2 years, I did not expect. The fact that I broke my neck and wrecked my motorcycle, I didn't expect that. But you know what? I'm already riding it again because I won't live in fear. And they say to overcome your fears, you have to do what you fear most. So I do ride my bike again. If you have the opportunity, come here, see this place. People, they find out that I came to the Canary Islands and they're like, oh, you're having so much fun on vacation. Well, don't come if you want a vacation, because this has not been a vacation. It's restful. It's very peaceful here. The support, the network of people. I've gone through some things being here. I've had a friend passed away. I was instantly surrounded by an energetic field of people that just genuinely cared, that it hurt me to learn something like that. I just keep coming back to the like-mindedness, the good advice that I've had, the positive outlooks. I will miss the people. That's what I will miss most about the finca. The community of people that work hard together toward the same goal, to provide for the animals an oasis in the desert. Hi, Mom. Are you watching this one? What am I gonna say? Oh, okay. Yep, I'm lost now. I don't know what I'm gonna say next. Amazing, it's a little bit, it's a little bit.